I am so sorry that I did not do a video last week. I have been busy, but everything's great now, and I wanted to go ahead and do chapter 8 and 9, and there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to try to keep it short and just share the things that stuck out to me. As far as chapter 8 goes, it being about the home, a wife's domain, you know, you guys know from videos I've made how passionate I am about homemaking and about the role that the Lord's given women to be home, raising their children, managing their house. I truly believe that is like such a high calling, and I love it, and I treasure it and find such fulfillment in it. And it's easy for me to disregard what the world, seems to say about it. It's obviously not a popular topic because, a lot of women want to work, and a lot of women don't want to stay home because they find like their value is taken away, or they're less important if they do that. And that's just believing the world's lies. I think the Lord makes it quite clear that it's a high calling throughout Scripture. And I'm just going to stick to what I wrote here so I don't ramble. So, biblical responsibility in the home. She gives an example of two different extreme stories, like the lady that was really preoccupied with good things like ministry, and then the other one who was at home all the time but really, really lazy, and how both of them were not using their time well in the home. Like both extreme cases. One might look really good to people because they're so busy and they're so productive, but their house is not in order or well managed. Their family's not being fully fulfilled, having all the things that they need prepared and done for them because they're too busy with other things. So both can be wrong. I'm a little scared to talk about this because it's not a popular topic, as she says, but what makes me scared to talk about it is that it's so biblical that it is where a wife should be. It's hard to say this is what it should be for every house and every family because Scripture says that, and I believe that, but I know that it's not possible in this day and age for that to be the case. Later in the chapter, she mentions like sometimes a husband may want his wife to work, and so the right thing to do biblically there is to submit and work and help him. And then, of course, the debt example, being working towards paying that off is to be the goal, or towards bringing the wife home. Hey, I'm not going to be able to talk right now, so just come back in a few minutes. So she talks about Scripture pointing to a wife needing to be at home, and we want to be organized, productive, and joyful, cheerful while we do our work, our duty. Let's see. Something else that stuck out to me on page 73 was when she asks, if you don't want to stay home, like, you should examine your heart and ask yourself why. Like, why don't you want to stay home? And she gives some examples, like, because it's too hard, because then you have to deal with your kids all day. Like, if those are the reasons, that's not like, whoa, you're the worst person in the world. People struggle with that. And, that may be the reason why you don't want to stay home. And guess what? It's okay. There's nothing to feel horrible about, but that's not a reason that honors the Lord. That's not a reason to not stay home. We should stay home. And if we are battling those desires, don't want to stay home because it's too hard to manage and train the children, it's too hard to manage the home, it's too stressful, I'd rather just be at work. I say it, I'm sorry if that comes off wrong. Work is hard too, but it's not the place for the wife. So we should just examine our hearts in that.